Hey guys, it's Val here and I have a very fun and bright and colorful makeup tutorial for you today. As you can see, I'm wearing some winged eyeliner, some turquoise, fuchsia, very fun. And before I continue on, of course, I want to mention that I dyed my hair. I think it's very obvious. I think I needed a break from the red hair, even though I thought it was the most beautiful color I've ever done on myself. I just think the upkeep was a lot and I've been wanting to grow out my hair, and dyeing it so frequently is not really good. This color is more similar to my natural hair, so I won't have to dye it as often, and then I'll be able to grow out my hair faster. So now that I got my hair out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and let's get started. So I already put my foundation on and I'm going to tell you exactly what I used. I skipped primer today because I actually forgot. I already had the foundation on my face and I didn't want to scrape it off and put on primer. But I did use the Neutrogena Skin Clearing Oil-Free Makeup. I have a review and demo on this if you're interested, and I will leave a link on the down bar below if you want to check it out. I also used these two concealers. I have the Conceal RX Physician Strength Concealer. I used this on my blemishes or acne scarring. And the Instant Age Rewind Eraser in Fair. I used this underneath my eyes. Then, before I use setting powder, I used the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I actually switched this up for my e.l.f. setting spray. I know in my foundation routine I was using the e.l.f., but it wasn't making my foundation last as long as I wanted to, so I switched to this one. Also, to keep my foundation in place, I just set it with the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder in Porcelain, which I believe I mentioned in one of my favorites videos. First off, I gotta get my hair out of the way, so I'm just gonna pin it to the sides so it won't bug me. Now that that's out of the way, I'm gonna continue on with my face, and then the last thing will be the dramatic eyes. So now I'm taking my NARS Laguna bronzer. And I chose this bronzer for the tutorial because it has sort of sheen to it, and I wanted my skin to look healthy and sort of sun-kissed for this tutorial. And I am using a Sigma Small Contour F05 brush. I'm actually going to contour with this as well as all over bronze, so it doesn't really have to be too precise, because you just want your face to look a little bit glowy and a little bit more tan. I'm just placing this in the hollows of my cheeks, my temples, sides of my forehead, on my jawline. I actually have a very strong jaw, so I like to put it on my jawline instead of underneath because I don't want it popping out. Alright, so now I'm taking the Real Techniques by Samantha Chapman blush brush, and it just looks like this, and I'm just going to blend out the bronzer so that there's not an actual harsh line to anything. I'm also going to take a little bit more and sort of go on my cheek as well, very lightly, just for that sun-kissed look. I'm gonna blend this down my neck as well, on my nose, forehead a little bit. I feel like I'm doing things a little bit backwards, like I should have done my eyes first, but I'm just gonna go with it. Next up, I'm using the Rimmel London Lasting Finish Autumn Catwalk Blush. And the reason why I'm using this one is because it is fairly shimmery, and it also has like a shimmery strip right here. It doesn't look glittery or anything, and I wanted something to add to that sort of a dewy glow to the skin. I want to pick up all three colors but very lightly, so I'm just going to brush it once, tap it off, the excess, because it does have a lot of pigment, and very carefully place this on my cheeks. I believe one swipe will be enough for both cheeks today, because you don't want them to be too bright, because the eyes and the lips will be bright enough. So just lightly pat it. Then I'm going to go back to my Real Techniques brush and I'm going to blend that out. Now moving on to the eyes, since I actually don't have a regular eye primer with me, I'm going to use my MAC Paint Pot in Bare Study. I would have preferred the regular primer because I will be using a matte eyeshadow, but it's not going to make much of a difference because we will be using a very neutral eyeshadow, and this actually has a really light sheen to it. You can barely tell. I'm just going to spread this all over my lids. I don't have particularly oily eyelids, but I always like to use some sort of primer if I'm using eyeshadow or anything. just in case it's particularly hot that day or my makeup might melt off, just to make sure everything stays in place. So now I'm going to take my Urban Decay Naked palette and I'm going to use the shade Naked all over my lid. And this will be the only eyeshadow that we're going to use today. Using my Sigma E55 eye shading brush, you just want to pat the color all over the lid and into the crease. Now I'm taking my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush and I'm just going to blend in the eyeshadow. Make sure there aren't any harsh edges, that everything is all neat. Now for the most dramatic part, the eyes, I'm using my Milani Ultra Fine Liquid Eyeliner in Sparkling Turquoise. And I'm just going to wing out my eyeliner with a very thick line. I suggest that you start off thin and then build up the line. Now I'm going to be using the Maybelline by Eye Studio Master Precise Eye Pen in black. With this one, you want to create a fine line close to the lashes because you just want a thicker, fuller effect to your own eyelashes. And you're going to wig this out as well using the turquoise eyeliner as a guideline. Following the guidelines of the turquoise eyeliner, you need to thicken out the line closer to the edge as well. Sorry about the change of angles and the change of lighting. I just very randomly lost the light bulb. It just fell flat and it got everywhere and I had to clean it up. It was a little bit of a mess, but I think we're still okay. We're still okay to finish this. So I finished winging out my eyeliner and this is what it looks like. I'm not really much of a pro, but I think it looks pretty good. And you can go as thin or as thick as you want to. I prefer a thicker line because I really like the contrast between the black and the turquoise. Now we're going to go back to the black eyeliner and we're going to lightly and thinly trace our bottom lash line. This is actually a very easy to control eyeliner, so this shouldn't be a problem. You want to go right underneath the lashes. I think right on top of the lashes if you can. Really, really close. Just trace that. I like to do the line halfway because then I'm just going to smudge it out with a little Q-tip. Now to clean up everything, all the edges and all that, I'm using my Instant Age Rewind Concealer. And this concealer really does go a long way. I like to pat it very gently because it doesn't seem like you're putting on much, but when you start blending it in, then you notice when you've gone too far. I'm just going to lightly pat it up to the corner. And I'm just blending it with my ring finger. So now that everything is cleaned and concealed, I'm going to use my L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable powder. I'm just going to use a little puff that it comes with because in the disaster of my light bulb breaking, everything got on the brushes, so I do have to wash them. But there's nothing like improvising. And these little guys work really well too. So now I'm going to do my eyelashes. First off, I'm taking my e.l.f. eyelash curler and curling those babies up because mine need a little bit of a boost. Now I'm using my favorite mascara, which is Maybelline The Rocket Volume Express. I actually have a review and demo on this and I will link it down below as well. And this is the regular version. I don't think my eyelashes could handle the waterproof one. This one is hard enough to remove. And you can put as many coats as you want. I usually just do one very thick one, very thorough one. You also want to coat those bottom lashes well. So now that we're done with mascara, I want my eyes to look bigger and brighter. So we're going to be using the Scandalize Waterproof Kohl in 05 Nude. And you just want to line the inner rim of your bottom lash line. I don't know about you guys, but I think using this eyeliner makes so much of a difference. It makes your eyes pop a lot more. Now, of course, we're gonna do brows. As you can see, mine are a little sparse. And I'm gonna be using the Wet n Wild Color Icon Brow and Eyeliner in dark brown. And you don't wanna line your brows very harshly with this. You just sort of wanna fill them in very lightly. And then you go in with the spoolie and blend in the color. Instead of lining my brows, I basically shape them with the spoolie and just use the liner to sort of fill it in a bit because it's so pigmented. Now that the brows are all filled in, I'm using my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk to highlight my brow bone, and it looks like this. I need to depot this, and I'm just using my fingers to do this. Alright, now eyes are done. And this is going to be the part that makes this look so dramatic, more so than using the turquoise eyeliner. I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Vivid Lipstick in Electric Fuchsia. Now I'm going to take a tissue and blot to avoid any bleeding of the lipstick. And this is the finished look. As you can see, it's very bright and very bold. I love fuchsia and turquoise together. I think they complement each other so well. I would say this is more of a going out look. I would wear this during the day, but maybe tone it down on the bright lip. Maybe use a lighter tone of fuchsia to make it a little bit more wearable and day-friendly. So that is it for this makeup look. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below of what you would like to see next. I have some tutorials planned using my new BH Cosmetics palette, which I'm really excited about. But again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!